Title: 3:46 a.m. Written by Captain Cryolicious. It was unfair. The embrace of slumber often brushed past you coldly, not giving you the slightest pinch of acknowledgement. The exhaustion was genuine, but sleep was but a fleeting matter that abandoned you more often than not. Too often, you found yourself tossing and turning hopelessly, and tonight was not an exception. Frustration was rapidly building up in your entire being as you lived out a sigh, the umpteenth of many. It was as if comfort lingered just out of reach of your grasping fingers. You couldn't grasp onto it, and thus you couldn't push yourself over the last threshold towards slumber. You wanted sleep so badly, exhaustion crashing upon you like a tsunami. If you were so tired, why couldn't you simply fall asleep? You often wondered that. It sounded easy enough, right? Yet, it didn't seem to work that way. No, not for you at least. No matter how tired you were, falling asleep proved itself to be a challenge time after time. With an exasperated sigh, you move around to switch to your other side once again, tugging the blankets with you in an attempt to grow a little more comfortable. Hey, stop that! An annoyed voice growled, and the blankets were pulled away harshly. Quit moving around so much, you were keeping me awake. Sorry, you mumbled, pursing your lips. Your sleepless nights were not only a problem for you. Scaramouche was often keep awake as well. Your endless tossing and turning, stirring the bed and preventing him from falling asleep just as much. Though it made you feel terrible, you couldn't blame him for getting so frustrated with you. Silence followed. You barely dared to move, but maybe that was a good thing. At least your endless moving wasn't going to keep you up when you stayed still. Did it really work like that? It was slowly driving you crazy. Your position getting uncomfortable and the urge to move was like a niche you couldn't scratch. Tonight was a disaster. But when wasn't it? Let me guess. It's one of those nights again, the harbinger said after a while, catching onto the way you were practically holding your breath. Yeah, you admitted, fighting the urge to turn around to face him. You were lovers, but you weren't expecting to find any comfort in him. It wasn't hard to guess that his expression was one of sheer irritation, maybe even anger. You didn't need him leering at you like that. Your night was already terrible enough. Ah, such a pain. Scaramouche sighed and you felt ashamed. Yet, it merged into a surprise when you felt the meter shift under his weight. His arms wrapped around you from behind and he gently urged you to cuddle against him. You were almost frozen at this point, never expecting such a sweet gesture to come from the cold Fatui harbinger. It was so unreal. Were you maybe hallucinating from the sheer exhaustion? Try to calm down, Lion, he grumbled, voice hoarse with sleep. Don't hyper-focus on falling asleep. That will never get you anywhere. He tried to comply. He relaxed in his arms and just focused on that and let go of the desire to fall asleep. Relaxing was surprisingly easy in his arms. He found out very soon. Staring into the darkness of your bedroom, you relish in the warmth of comfort. Was this Scaramouche soft side showing? Suddenly, not being able to sleep tonight wasn't all that terrible anymore. You slowly shifted in his arms, closing your eyes and exhaling deeply. Maybe you wouldn't be able to catch a lot of sleep tonight, but it was so rare for the harbinger to show affection. It eased the frustration that come with your insomnia a little. Tomorrow, you'd worry about your sleepless nights again. Tonight, you were going to enjoy your cold lover's embrace. You barely noticed how your eyelids grew heavier, how your breathing steadied, and how slumber fell upon you gradually in the arms of your harbinger.